So in this presentation, I'd like to present you two cases. That's Amazon rainforest and Atacama desert, and one extra scenario where I could be able to detect UAP in South America and also in Antarctica, which is the last scenario. And with three different methods, three different kinds of phenomena. So this I'm wanting to present you today. So case one, Amazon rainforest. It was June 2024. I was in the state of Acre in Brazil, in Yawanawa indigenous tribe. Forests and rivers are no ecosystems for UAP activity in South America. At this time was happening a wave of UAP incidents reported by indigenous chief. Orange to red orbs, luminous fogs, black solid objects with red lights underneath. Also close contacts, few meters away, physiological effects, equipment interference. This is one example. I was using exactly one of these cameras, PTZ cameras, pan tilt zoom cameras shown by Ron in his presentation. This in the camera appears as simple fog or cloud, but what we are seeing in the field was completely different. I was with two indigenous boys. I was seeing a hand, a luminous fog, like drone show or something like that, pointing to the forest that you can see below. The other boy was seeing a closed hand. The other boy was seeing a palm of a hand. So the phenomenon was able to show in the camera and in our minds different types of characteristics. And in the camera appeared only like a simple fog. And this phenomenon was able to cause electromagnetic interference with the light in the building that we was in the middle of the forest. Also, it was able to paralyze one of the boys. And after this fog entered in the forest that you can see in this black part below, many types of phenomena start to appear, and I will show a video. This is one of the examples, a pulsating light. Below you can see also another type of phenomena that I nicknamed Darth Vader helmet, because it was something like that. This one was static. So in the sky at this time, after this fog entered the forest, I could see many types of phenomena, maybe 5 different types of phenomena, and I needed to choose what type of phenomena I needed to record. Remember, I was using a motorized camera, so I could be able to move the camera and give 24 times zoom to focus on the object. So after I was seeing that, I played the recording for the first time. This video that you saw was recorded by my smartphone using the playback, the screen of the monitor that recorded it, because I was very afraid that some phenomena could enter in this network video recorder and erase my data. We know that things like that can occur. So this was my smartphone recording the screen and playback in the video that I was recorded, that you saw. So this happened right when I was recording this movie. I had 2 video recorders, NVR1 and NVR2. The only NVR recorder that was disrupted by something, it was the NVR1 that had this camera that filmed this phenomena, the PTZ1. So the phenomena or something was able to selectively disrupt my equipment, and only the equipment that was recording this movie. This is the image of the phenomena before, when I was recording with my smartphone, and last one on the right is the original file that was disrupted by something that the NVR went offline, and when NVR started again, the image was very noisy, like the one you can see in the right. Okay, so it was able to disrupt the NVR and also change the image to increase noise and decrease quality, resolutions, and so on. Most of the phenomena that you saw there were in the yellow to red spectrum. My hypothesis is that it is in this part of spectrum because it's less energetic, it's more economic energetically to appear in this part of spectrum, and also it's very close to infrared, so it can cloak, it can hide in the infrared because we cannot see in the infrared with our vision. So this first case was a visible light scenario that we filmed in this forest in the Amazon. Case 2, Atacama Desert, it was in March 2025, Antofagasta region in Chile, at Licancabur volcano in San Pedro de Atacama. Deserts and volcanoes are no ecosystems for UAP activity in South America. There people witnesses white, yellow, orange, red orbs, and also luminous humanoid beings floating close to the ground. In this situation, we had close contacts and physiological effects. So this was the Licancabur volcano behind me. These were two phenomena that appeared, and what's the context of this image? I was with a psionic experienced contactee that was able, an experiencer of the phenomena that allegedly was able to attract like an antenna, this kind of phenomena. This was not visible with my eyes, but this woman that was the psionic was able to see, and at the same time I was taking photos. My main goal in this scenario, in this mission, was to try with a simple smartphone to detect phenomena. So any citizen could do that. And I was testing exactly if our smartphone could record something and use it in the limits of the ISO, in the limits of the exposure, to try to amplify the light, since smartphones have little sensors. So at the exact moment when she said that was saying something, I was able to capture these two, I think it was orbs, because it's an 8-second exposure, so you can see movement. I think it was a sphere that was moving near the ground of the volcano. So it's with filter, with enhancements, amplified. You can see it's very white in the core and red in the contours. And we did another experiment. I went with her close to the volcano, and when she was very afraid, seeing something, there was people working for me, taking these shots. And the exact moment again that she was very disturbed, the phenomena was in our left. So in our left, in yellow, you can see the phenomena. And our right, it was us, me and her with flashlights. So it was very close to us. This is an enhancement, very noisy, because, as I said, smartphones have very, very little sensors. They capture very little light, so it's very noisy. But you can see these lights on the top and this kind of dark masses below. And it's a body or something like that, I don't know. And below you can also see two different phenomena, the same structure, lights and this dark body. And this is different from all other parts of the image. What's not something like I can call noise, I think it's data. The extra case in Antarctica, I was there last December 2025 with the Brazilian scientific program in the King George Island at the Brazilian Antarctic Station, Comandante Ferraz. Antarctica is a no ecosystem for UAP activity, not in South America, sorry for the mistake, it's the continent of Antarctica. Military and scientists there reported to me anomalous radar plots, orbs coming in and out of the water, huge perfect circles drawn on the mountains, luminous and shadow humanoid entities, unknown human figures that disappear. This is the military and scientists reported to me when I was there. This was never shared by me. It was shared by me with the captain of one of the two Brazilian Antarctic ships. It was a phenomena that was chasing the ship close to the Antarctica region, close to the King George Island. It was, as you can see, this number 4 target, it was 70, but the commander said to me that it reached 120 knots. I mean, fast for a moving object. It was circling the ship and sometimes chasing the ship in its back. And they were able to see this object splitting in 2 different objects and merging again and disappear, appearing in 3 nautical miles further, changing location again with instantaneous acceleration. Unfortunately, all this data was not recorded because Brazilian Navy doesn't have any protocol to record something like that. So the only thing that remained was this photo that was shared with me by the commander. But The good news is that I had in this ship a lot of instrumentation. I had particle counter to measure radiation. I had magnetic field sensors, and I had GPS and other sensors. So we are right now doing a revision of the data to try to publish. And the Brazilian Navy just authorized us, if we find something, some anomaly, the Brazilian Navy authorized us to publish an article using all this data. I was there also maintaining our system. I have instrumentation there. I have an sky camera. We are also in the next mission putting thermal cameras and maybe a night vision scope there. We also have a huge particle counter to measure radiation, magnetometer and other instrumentation there. And maybe we could test the systems from Ron, the systems from Richard there to try to capture something. My final remarks, UAP repair, you can see that I'm using the term scenes, and I'm not affirming nothing because I don't have enough data to affirm it. It just remarks, not a conclusion. But by my experience in the field, UAP seems to be connected with preserved ecosystems, volcanoes, ice, forests, rivers. UAP seems to be connected with geological resources, geological activity, and also abrupt magnetic field gradient in the area. Maybe it extracts energy from it to materialize or something like that. UAP seems to appear much more frequently where people with desire or faith to see something are present. I have systems for 5 years in the rural area of Brazil, locals that we have a lot of phenomena happening, but when I have only the cameras there, only the sensors, it's very difficult to record something. In other way, when we are in the field, when we are with people wishing to see something, the phenomena manifests much more. So it's connected to human consciousness, something like that. UAP seems to be able to selectively disrupt equipment. It's not a simple interference. It can choose what equipment to disrupt it. UAP seems to be able to manipulate and alter the evidence collected. As I said, it can enter, can put your equipment offline, can alter something that is already recorded, like happened in the Amazon. And UAP seems to be able to manipulate its physical characteristics depending of the observer people, observer equipment. It can alter, it can appear in a physical way in the equipment, another physical way in my eyes, in my mind. So it's something that can manipulate its own characteristics. So thanks. This was my final remarks.